Hello everybody and welcome back to the server. This is episode 8 and we're going to go ahead and just get started with working on our super smelter a little bit more. We've spent a little bit of time here designing, trying to get an idea of what it was going to look like, and I think we've got a solid plan going. I did have to make the deviation from the shaft a little bit shorter so that it would fit in this space. And then I put my counterweight in and just tried to dress it up a little bit so that it would have some interest to it. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, knocking out the blocks that we're going to need to have out of the way and start putting in everything again. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, so we ended up playing with these materials a little bit. Originally I had put tough down, and the tough really, it was the texture and the amount of gray that was in it just didn't work well, and when I tried to put it with the stone bricks, that also did not look right to me. So I ended up closing that into its own sections, and then in order to reduce the sheer amount of pure gray that was going on, I decided to throw the deep slate bricks in there as well. So I need some tough. There we go. So that was kind of how I reached this design. I didn't start at the base here. I actually kind of started... No, I did start a little bit with the base. So I put in a little bit of the base, and then the goal was to hit this section here with the arm that attaches to the piston and drives the whole thing around as they would fire based on pressure and whatnot. So I had to reach that stage so that I could figure out where everything could go, the levels that everything had to be at, and make adjustments for where all the tracks will have to go, and just make sure that I can get the fuel in place, all the material that's going to be smelted in place. So really just had to squeeze this design together a little bit, and hopefully it all works out pretty well when I'm done, but it will take a little bit for me to get there. I have a lot of materials to get, and I probably don't actually have enough to even finish one side, but that's not going to really stop me. Today I'm going to see how much we can get done, and if we can get done a lot of it, that will be good. If we can only get done a little bit, well, that'll be fine too. So that's where I'm at the moment. I'm going to keep going, getting this base layer in, and then I probably need to go to my stone generator, get some cobble so that I can make all the furnaces, start putting those in place, and I'll have to use a whole bunch of iron to get all the very, very many hoppers in place as well. And as you can see, this base, I think I measured it out properly. It takes up most of this back section, so this is going to be fairly substantial as far as the design, but I think it's going to look good in the end. So yeah, I'll keep going and I'll bring you back as soon as I make some more progress. Alright, here we go. We've got the first layer in for the outside skin, and then we went ahead and put down the line of hoppers. So I went ahead and used the stone generator to make all the furnaces that I'm going to need to finish up this side, and we're just going to go ahead and place those in, and once that's done, we'll be placing a few more hoppers. I'll probably run out one more time here, but yeah, I was just thinking it's really weird actually holding this many furnaces, because how many times do you really think that you're going to need that many furnaces? But this is only one side, so I'll have to make a whole bunch more again, and yeah, it's weird and different for me, but I'm really excited about this furnace. It's when I tested it out, it was a lot of fun. Just putting in just a small amount of coal. I put in enough for 3 pieces of coal in each furnace, and that was only, you know, the partial array that I've got going on here. And then I put in as much copper as I had, and just that small array that's over there, which is see 12 furnaces, in no time flat I had 4 stacks of copper completely smelted. So that was really exciting to me, because normally I have to put stuff in the furnace and then I sit there and I wait, or I just, you know, I throw it, chuck it in there, run away and do other things until such time as I decide to go check again. And by then it's done, and, you know, I have to go load it up again with whatever else I need to do. So this is really exciting. Nothing new. I mean, I've seen a few of the hermits build super smelters, and it's always really cool to see. I just never took the time to do it. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep placing down the pieces. I'm gonna make I think I probably need to make a couple more stacks of hoppers just to finish this up, and then we should be able to start putting down the infrastructure for the rails. I think I'm going to just finish up all the interior bits, and once that's done, then we can worry about finishing up the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and craft those up, get those in place, and probably get the compost bins in as well, and then we should be good to lay down tracks and get this all finished up, at least this level of it, and then I'll have to work on this section up here again. So a lot of work, and this is only one side. So yeah, let me go ahead and get those hoppers. Alright, so we've got the hoppers in place. I just went ahead and made 2 more stacks of those. I didn't need quite that many. I still have 58 of those left, but considering how many I'm going through and how quickly everything is going into place, I figured the extras aren't going to hurt. Plus I can just throw them into my redstone box in the end. That way when I need to do another project, I've already got some made and don't have to go running around gathering the materials again. That being said, I'm still going to run out of materials before I can get very far on this, because there's going to be a lot of iron that goes into the next part of this build, or at least the above section of this build. So that's going to take me some time to get that in, and I'll have to go raid some farms again, or I might have to hit the shopping district, or I might have to take a detour and just go ahead and start making some more farms. However I do this, it's going to take time to get done, and that's okay. I definitely have time to do this. We're not going to end the season yet anytime, from what I've been hearing, anytime soon. So that is encouraging to me. Means I've got time to try and do something. So we're going to go ahead and get these slabs in place, which this is... I was using slabs in order to run the tracks on, just so that I can still have room to kind of maneuver in here, and hide if I want to, or, you know, whatever I decide to do. It's easier, and it's a pretty cheap material. It won't be visible from the outside, so it's not going to mess with the look and feel of the build itself. So it just works well. And so this is basically what I did in this back section here. Just put in the slabs on 2 different layers, and then I had to place all the tracks and get everything running and figure out how to power the tracks without interfering with any of the hoppers. So that's actually a little bit easier, because I have these central sections here, and there's no hoppers directly beneath or beside these blocks, so they're working well to power everything up. And yeah, I think the next material I'm actually going to run out of is gold. So I'll probably have to go figure out where I'm going to go get some more gold. So yeah, I'm going to finish placing these, and then I will go take inventory of what I got, what I have, what I can make currently, and then pretty much go stock up so I can keep building all the materials for this. So we'll be back once more as we get to the next section, which is going to be laying down the track. So we'll see you again here in a moment. And we're back. It actually has been nearly a week since I did that last clip. In that time, I had to get gold, create all of the rails, and then I went ahead and powered them. Basically got everything in place, spent some time actually getting the fuel for all the furnaces loaded up. So this system is actually fully loaded, just not completely hooked up so that everything is working. But on top of getting the rails in place, I started playing around with some redstone, trying to figure out a system by which I can distribute the fuel and potentially get some ideas of how I'm going to distribute the material that I'm going to be cooking. So I still have to get anything in place for the cooking aspect, but what I do have is a delivery system for buckets of lava to refill the system. The way that I figure this will work is I can probably just use a single minecart with a chest in it, load that up, and when it's full, send it off. And if this hopper down here is missing even a single bucket of lava, what it's going to do is send out a signal that is being decreased by a lectern. So right now it should be putting out a full signal, and if it drops below the full signal, then it will pull back this piston here, which will allow the minecart to drop onto the track, and it will take off going, come all the way back around when it's on its route. And right now I've just got some scaffold here so that I can get up and down easily. It will fall down here, so I need to make a system that will take it. I think I'm going to tear out some of the farms I have here and put the storage for additional lava buckets so that I can store a lot of them, and just really take advantage of the fact that I can have bulk storage going on of the fuel, and that will be what keeps everything going. So it should be able to come down here, fill back up, and as soon as it's full, it should send it off again, and it'll come along another track. And what I've got here is a bubble vader, so it's going to shoot the minecart in there, and that's just going to bubble it up through some scaffolding up top, which then lands on a powered rail and takes off. And if the piston is open, then it will just land right there and wait until it's needed. And if I just use a single minecart, that will prevent me from having any buildup or anything like that, and everything should just go. And I have plenty of time. For the time that it takes to get through a bucket of lava smelting items, I believe I should have enough time to fill up that chest and send it off again. It takes a little over 2 full chests of lava to fill up the system with 1 bucket. So hopefully it will be able to make 3 trips, get filled up, and be ready for when the next bucket goes. So that's the hope of that design. We will see how that actually goes. There will definitely be some testing going on, but I'm not going to do any full testing because it took so long to do the lava until I have everything else in place as well, and have run the distribution system empty, make sure it actually goes through. And what I need to do is figure out, I think I'm going to use hopper minecarts because those load up faster, and I'll send them off whenever they have a full stack of items, and that's enough to put 1 item in each one, and just have multiple minecarts for that, so that one fills up, goes, another fills up, goes, and those just continuously cycle through as fast as they can, because we definitely want the system to get loaded up completely. And if that means that I've got minecarts that just keep running because they've already got a full stack of stuff, then that's what we're going to have, and that'll be okay, I think. So that's the plan with the redstone. What I want to try and do now is see if I can finish decorating the outside. That should be an easier task. And before we do that, I think I'm going to put myself in the system that's not easy to get out of. I think I'm going to sleep really quick just to make sure that no phantoms come after me. And then I will go ahead and just start placing blocks. So yeah, I think I might actually just do that as a time lapse. So we'll do that and see how far we get on everything. So we'll see you here in just a moment. Well, we're going to have to interrupt this time lapse for just a moment and say, I done goofed. I didn't count these right, and now I have a system that's actually longer than what it should be based upon how I started it. As you can see, we did 3 wide here, and I did 5 wide on everything else with the tough. So yeah, I think that's going to drive me nuts if I leave that, so we're going to go ahead and get that fixed. So onward with the time lapse. All right, and we are done putting the skin around this section here. Yeah, that was fun having to fix that because, I couldn't count my own design out. So we've got that all in place. We're going to have to move the redstone yet, and then we're going to have to get working on the rest of the shaft and pistons, get those all in place, make everything make sense, and then we get to repeat all that over here, as well as design the delivery system for the materials that we want to smelt, as well as bring those back and put them into storage to collect. So I'm going to keep working on this, and hopefully I can finish that up here shortly. All right, let's go. All right, we've got the drive shaft mostly in place here, and then we've also went ahead and tested and done some of the brain work here. The distribution system for the lava is in place. The distribution system for the materials to smelt are in place. So really what we got to do is put it to a test. So what I'm going to do is send off the first minecart, and then because I don't have the return system complete, I will have to check the minecarts, and if there's any material left in them, then I failed. If they're empty, I'll have to put them back through the system. So hopefully this goes well, and we'll go ahead and get this started and see what it does. So what it's supposed to do is grab exactly 64 items, sends the minecart away, and in a moment the clock will reset, send out another minecart. That minecart will also grab 64 items, which it looks like that's been successful so far. Down below they continue along a track. Good, that one's empty. And then that track will shoot the minecarts up a bubble elevator. The bubble elevator puts it onto the... Where did those go? I've got buckets. Oh, they're trapped somewhere in the system. Here we go. Let's see if we can keep this going. So yeah, at the moment it's very, very inefficient as far as where everything is going, but we're trying. The collection system here is going to get bogged down pretty heavily, unless it just breaks completely, which definitely looks like it's a possibility. I'm definitely seeing some stuff, but I don't know where everything is stuck. Okay, that's going into there. Got a minecart. Okay. It looks like that one is getting powered, probably by something stupid that I've done. Quite possibly by that torch right there. So yeah, that's troublesome. I'm going to have to figure out the system that is going to return all the items and hopefully get that sorted out a little bit better here. But for the most part, we've made it through a lot of copper. So I'm going to go ahead and kick off one more, just to make sure we get as much of that copper as we can. And then it looks like I'm just going to manually be collecting the copper for the moment, which is fine. Let's see, that's not all the buckets yet, so we probably still have some stuck on the other side of the system. Again, that's okay. We will fix this. It will work at some point, and it will be beautiful. But on the plus side, we are not seeing any extra items still stuck in the mine carts. So those went through a few times. It looks like we've already smelted everything. Oh, I know why that torch is on. That torch is on because we have used lava buckets. So it's asking for more lava, but we don't have the system in place to refill it. So that's why that torch is on. Yep. We got some more work to do. But for the most part, I'm really happy to see the system work, even in this capacity, even if it's still a little bit broken. I can make adjustments as to where the items go. That's not a big problem. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you join me for the next episode, where we should have figured out where the input and the output of the system are going to go and how to keep them from getting locked up, as well as we will be trying to get the other side of the system done over here. So if we can get all of that done in the next episode, that'll be great, and then we can move on. I think the next step is going to be getting this portal all hooked up, and once that's hooked up, then we can get started on some more farms. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and we'll catch you again next time. Goodbye.